Credit reports list several different types of accounts, and understanding the difference between those account types is essential for interpreting how lenders evaluate financial behavior. The topic of this lesson, revolving accounts versus installment loans, explains how these two forms of credit operate and why both appear within many credit profiles. Revolving credit accounts are designed to allow a borrower to repeatedly access funds up to a predetermined limit. The most common example of revolving credit is a credit card, although lines of credit also fall into this category. With revolving accounts, the borrower is not required to repay the entire balance each month. Instead, the borrower can carry a balance forward while making at least the required minimum payment. As payments are made, the available credit increases again, allowing the borrower to continue using the account. This structure creates a flexible borrowing system in which the balance may change frequently depending on spending and repayment patterns. Because of this flexibility, revolving accounts often provide lenders with insight into how borrowers manage ongoing access to credit. Installment loans operate differently. With installment credit, the borrower receives a specific loan amount at the beginning of the agreement and repays that amount through scheduled payments over a predetermined period of time. Examples of installment loans include auto loans, student loans, and mortgages. Each payment reduces the remaining balance until the loan is eventually paid in full. Unlike revolving credit, installment accounts do not allow the borrower to repeatedly borrow funds after payments are made. Once the loan has been repaid, the account is typically closed. These structural differences mean that revolving accounts and installment loans reveal different patterns of financial behavior within a credit report. Revolving accounts often show how borrowers manage ongoing access to credit, including how balances fluctuate and how consistently payments are made while balances are outstanding. Installment loans show how borrowers handle long-term repayment obligations that follow a fixed schedule. Because the structures are different, lenders interpret them differently when evaluating credit profiles. Revolving accounts frequently receive attention because they display credit utilization, which reflects how much of the available credit limit is currently being used. High utilization may indicate that a borrower is relying heavily on revolving credit, while lower utilization may suggest that credit is being used more conservatively. Installment loans generally do not involve utilization in the same way because the loan amount is fixed from the beginning of the agreement. Instead, lenders often focus on payment history and the consistency of scheduled payments when evaluating installment accounts. Payment behavior remains important for both types of credit because it reveals reliability across time. When payments are consistently made according to the agreement, the trade line gradually builds a positive history that lenders can review. Missed payments may signal potential financial difficulty regardless of whether the account is revolving or installment-based. Another difference between the two account types involves how balances change over time. Revolving balances may increase or decrease depending on spending and repayment activity. Installment balances typically decline steadily as scheduled payments reduce the loan amount. This pattern allows lenders to see whether the borrower is successfully reducing debt through regular payments. Within the credit strategy framework, understanding the difference between revolving and installment accounts helps consumers interpret the structure of their credit reports more clearly. Instead of viewing all accounts as identical entries, individuals can recognize that each account type reveals different aspects of financial behavior. Revolving accounts demonstrate how borrowers manage access to flexible credit, while installment loans demonstrate how borrowers manage structured repayment obligations. When lenders evaluate credit reports, they often consider the combination of these account types because it provides a broader picture of financial experience. A credit profile containing both revolving and installment accounts may show that the borrower has handled different forms of credit over time. This combination can create a more detailed financial timeline within the report because each account contributes unique information about how obligations have been managed. By understanding how these account types function, consumers gain insight into how their credit profiles are interpreted. Instead of reacting to individual accounts in isolation, they can analyze how each account contributes to the overall narrative recorded within the credit report. This perspective encourages a more analytical approach to credit reports because it highlights the structural role each trade line plays within the financial history lenders review when evaluating risk.